are here live at Absolute Fitness, another episode of Absolute Hour with the Glencoe Yellowjackets Lady Volleyball team. And I'm going to let these young ladies introduce themselves, starting from left over here with Coach.
Hey, I'm Coach Barkley.
I'm Allie, and I play center. Adriana Bethel, and I play libero.
I'm Kaylee Nutt, and I play outside.
I'm Madeline McGinnis, and I'm a right side.
Coach, I'm going to go back to you for a second. We checked in with you, we first got in with you last season, basketball season, and you had a really good basketball team. I know you coach both sports, big, huge part of what Glencoe does over there. But let's talk about volleyball specifically here. Catch us up from the last game last season to this season, non-COVID related, because I'm going to ask you about that next.
Okay. We ended at regionals last year, unsatisfied with how that game ended. Not because of what we did or didn't do, just unsatisfied because we didn't get to go back to state like we got to a couple years ago, and never happy with ending ever. Volleyball is such an exciting sport, such a fun sport to play that I don't think I've ever walked off the court thinking, I love what just happened. You always want more of whatever just happened. And so we graduated 5 or 6 seniors last year, and then we have 5 seniors this year, and 2 juniors, and a whole bunch of sophomores. And they're ready and hungry, ready to play, and always happy to work in the gym. Well, happy may not be the right word, but always willing to work in the gym and to do what I ask them to do. And this team, the difference between walking off the court in regionals last year and walking in, say this week to Hopes Bluff, was these girls are a team that they're willing to sacrifice leg and limb to go get the ball and put it in play for their sister standing beside them. And last year's team just didn't lay out like that. And so it's been really nice to see these girls work and go after it day after day.
100%. And you ladies, she just mentioned that Hopes Bluff game. Hopes Bluff was on a roll, and they were really winning big and kind of just going right through everybody. I want each one of you guys to talk about leading into that game and your execution that ultimately gets you the victory. We'll start right here.
We knew it was a pretty big game, so we went into it knowing we had to, work together as a team, and we just were talking loud, got in their heads, and played pretty good. So.
Hopes Bluff is always one of our biggest rivalries, and it's always we want to beat green. So, we all really knew we had to fight hard for them, and I think we all knew that as long as we worked together, communicated, and pushed the way we knew we could, it's easy.
Tuesday, September 8th, I tore my ACL meniscus, so I'm not actually able to be on the court, but I showed up during warm-ups, and when I tell you I looked in that gym screaming for them, I screamed.
Hey, that's as big a part. You may see something that, from the sidelines that you didn't, could help out for sure. We see it all the time in sports.
A lot of us, or a few of us, got back from quarantining, so coming into that game we were nervous, but we knew we had to talk, just bring that energy on the court. That's really what we needed. Now,
you ladies, you can admit to this, or you don't have to admit to this. Do you guys go out spray painting, G's on the stop signs and stuff like they do in football? You believe in Josh?
They said we told them.
Look at Coach.
You could go to every stop sign in Glencoe and see a big white HB on them. You will never go to HB and see a big G on their stop signs.
Yeah, I remember that happening in the 80s, and then we always ask the football guys about it. It's always comical, to find out. Now, and you mentioned quarantine, and so that brings me to the next point. I'm going to start with Coach. Coach, how has COVID-19 affected you guys leading into the season and now that we're in during the season?
Definitely didn't get to be in the gym doing our normal routine of preparing for the season. We didn't get any play dates in like we normally get a couple play dates in and get to go play. You kind of get a feel for how the year's going to go in July, second week of July and the last week of July. We're in the gym playing against some competition normally, and now these girls hit the gym when we could for workouts and do some skill work, but it's just not the same as getting in the gym and being being a cohesive unit running across the court and knowing how you're going to play. And so getting into August, finally got to do some team things in August, and so you just feel like you're about a month behind when that happens, when you didn't get to start till August, normally you start July, and so that kind of hit us. But then first week, one of our girls gets sick, and so we got to scramble, and we move people around. I'm fortunate enough to have 6 hitters on the court, so my girls that set have somebody that comes in and plays their front row, because we set from the back row. We run a 6-2 system, and so that is great. So all we did was just kind of refocused, and one of my setters here, she got to hit a little bit like she likes to do too, and so we just kind of managed. That girl came back. The day she came back, she broke her foot in a game, landing on somebody's foot at the net. That girl, who's a sophomore, has played 1 game of volleyball, and then get another weekend. That Friday I lose 2 to the contact tracing, so now I'm down, and I lose a hitter, a big hitter, a big powerful hitter in Kaylee. She's not just powerful in her vocalization on the court, and a big leader in that way. She put a ball in somebody's eye and make you like it.
I love it.
She gonna hit that ball that way.
I love it.
And so then we went from 6 hitters on the court to 2 hitters on the court. And so you look at our schedule, and you look at we played some dang good competition, because I'm not going to give you a cupcake schedule. That's not going to happen. I'm going to make you work for it. But then when you go from 6 hitters to 2 hitters, it's like, okay, girls, go get them. Do what you can. So every time I walk in the gym, I'm like, okay, we've had this bump in the road and this bump in the road, and you can guarantee that it's all COVID related. And that sounds terrible, but this year, I think if Kaylee had been able to be in the gym and do things that we normally do, would she have torn her ACL? Question mark. She hadn't in the past. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, is it because we didn't get to do our normal routine? And I'm looking at all these football injuries. Golly, Arab with 5 people out, the season-ending injury. We got Eli and our team out with a season-ending injury, and a couple more. But so you just think in the back of your mind, is that something that kept us from doing our normal routine? Absolutely. So is being out of normal routine causing some of our injuries or some of our issues? But Tuesday, when we were all back together, it clicked like it hadn't clicked all season, and it looked pretty.
Probably hungry, ready to go.
Oh, they were hungry. They were ready to play.
Let's start over here individually. How's it affected you in your training?
Well, individually, I've been out of the gym. I was out for 2 weeks due to coming in contact with someone in the classroom who had it. So it just put me out, and I felt bad because I felt like it's my fault being out of the gym, especially not being there when we played Geraldine and stuff like that. So it's just pulled us out of the gym a lot.
Before you got injured.
Like, I knew coming into the season, you never knew when your last game was. And at Sylvania, the seniors kind of talk to everybody saying how play like it's your last game, because you don't know. And push yourself every single day to get better, because you don't know.
100%.
I would say the same thing Kaylee said. Like, coming up as seniors and our season having COVID, it's just kind of it's a scary thing to say. Like, if I were to come in contact with somebody at school with it the week of regionals and I'm out, like, that would crush me. So it's really like, you just really need to do your part in maintaining your distance from people and playing your part in that, and it's a big thing on now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult as a senior. It's like, well, I don't know when my last game is going to be. So I would just definitely say, like, as seniors, we are all playing like it's our last game.
100%.
Yeah.
You never, the way things are going in 2020, you never know. Coach, one thing I get just from talking to you guys this little bit, having you guys together, you guys have got some chemistry. Can you please talk about that? I can tell they're not just teammates, they're like, you guys seem like sisters, literally.
And I'm the sister too, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You're the older sister taking care
Okay, all right. No, these girls, when I came to Glencoe, these were my freshman babies. And so I do feel like I've raised them a little bit. I threw things at them from the beginning. It was a little different than what they had experienced. And so they had to pull together. I joked that probably they spent their first year pulling together just because they hated me. Nah. No, just because I threw a lot of different things at them and pushed them harder than they had ever been pushed, and so a lot of times when you experience that as a player, you do go together. You do. Oh gosh, she wants us to work out in the summer. Is she crazy? She wants us to come up here in this hot gym, and so that a lot of times puts you together, and that is definitely you see it on the court. And on the flip side of that, when you got a lot of chemistry and you act like sisters don't always get along.
That's true.
And I've seen us Tuesday night or Thursday night get a little fussy at each other, and so that happens too. But then again, next set you're gonna pick each other up. And at Hope's Bluff game this week on Tuesday, second set, we got in a funk in a rotation, and we got a little nippy at each other, and then Kaylee, hey, come on, shake this out of your head, let's go. And so you find the one voice that pulls you back together, and that is the, and it's not just represented in my 5 seniors. These 5 seniors pick up a sophomore, and they teach those sophomores what it is, what's expected of them, and they pick them up and they pack them along, and that's what a big sister does, and they definitely have led the charge.
And one thing I've noticed is expectations. She's not going to let you guys settle, and you guys talk about that playing for a coach. It's not going to let you settle for being average. Anyway, we'll start right here. I like all you guys' attention. What's it like playing for Coach Barkley? Basically, it's going to push you.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, she always says if Barkley's not yelling at you, then Barkley doesn't care. So, you know.
It's awesome.
Yeah, Herb Brooks did the same thing with the U.S. hockey team.
Yeah, it's true.
He said if they hate me, they can't hate themselves.
That's a good point.
So she's a really good coach. Has been pushing me throughout my entire high school in volleyball and basketball last year. So.
Before the next one speaks, though, this one right here is the type kid that last year we lost a set. We didn't have a setter. We had LCs used to fill, and I didn't have anybody that could do it. We thought we could do it in one position, and we couldn't. And this one right here looked at me and said, "Hey, coach, I'll try it." And when you got a personality like that right there, "Hey, coach, I'll try. I'll try for you. I'll do that. I'll do something totally new if you'll give me the skills."
That's like basketball players sacrifice himself to be a defender.
And she for sure is that kid. So is the next one in a different way, but
Yeah, so same question. Like, what's it like playing with Coach Barkley, who's going to push you to your absolute potential?
Personally, for me, I also play softball, and I'm center fielder. So she's always referred to me as her center fielder.
Nice.
Because as libero, you have to really be prepared for anything. You're everywhere at any given moment. And so she always makes me know that no matter where she puts me, like this year I'm always middle back. This year she was like, okay, well, we're gonna put you in left back because that's where colleges have their liberos, and they needed me there instead. And so with her doing that, I knew if she thought I could do it, then there's no reason for me to not think I could. And that really helps me a lot with her believing in me and what my ability is. So.
Absolutely.
My experience with her, during the summer, whenever we first started practicing volleyball, I went up to go hit, and I just realized it wasn't the same. And I asked her what I was doing wrong. She was like, "Honestly, you're not even getting off the ground." And then I worked towards it, and next thing I knew, I was almost jumping on the biggest box before my entry, and she helped me push to get there.
No doubt.
My thing about Coach Barkley is even when you're down, she always she'll believe in you. She tells you she's not going to put you out there if she doesn't believe in you. And even if we're doing completely terrible, we're all just messing up, when we come in for that huddle, she's like, "No one's hurt. We're going to get there. No one's hurt. We got it." She'll believe in you no matter what.
Love it. All right, these questions are going to be for you ladies, and anybody can answer these. We're about to have fun. I love throwing these in here. Who, and it could be you ladies here or somebody else on your team. So, who is the biggest class clown on your team?
Bree. Bree.
Easy.
Yeah, she's a junior.
Yeah. And she's crazy.
No questions asked. She's the biggest.
Yeah.
In the middle of
Sure.
practice, she'll just break out and do dances.
Anything
She'll just-
random. It's
That's
just,
how Josh does it. We're all good.
Everybody would join in.
Oh yeah.
Who is the meanest player on your team? It's the libero. It's the libero?
Just defend
she'll,
daily, but
I mean, she puts everybody in their place though. We mess
she'll
up.
let you
She
know
don't play
everybody in
games.
She does that to teammates and other people.
Oh yes.
She'll let you know.
No
Yeah,
questions
she will
asked.
let you know.
Who has the best attitude? One of those two?
I would say it would be
Them
Kaylee.
two or Morgan.
Yeah.
Morgan's also one of our seniors, but she's at work today. So
Who has the worst attitude? Is anybody going to admit that?
I could probably fall in that number.
It's like 50-50.
Come on, no way.
Because sometimes
Kayla Trailer.
Oh,
Come on.
Is it bad, Coach?
It is bad. And I'll tell her, if she were sitting right there, I would say, Kayla, your attitude stinks.
I love it. Who,
And she was.
who is the best teammate?
Probably say Morgan.
Morgan. Yeah.
she's always hardworking and she'll pick you up.
Yeah.
All right. Who is the hardest worker out of all of you guys?
I don't want to say Morgan for everything, but Morgan has worked extremely hard to get where she is now.
Yeah.
And she really showed out at Hope's Bluff. She
really
diving
did.
on the
She
floor
was
like never
everywhere.
before, like in a scorpion position where she dove so hard her legs went over her head.
How about that?
And you never see that from Morgan, and she has really showed out recently.
Yeah.
All right. Who is the? I think I probably know who this is. Who's the biggest trash talker? Is it you?
I about smacked somebody at Asheville.
So we're taking it next level now.
No, it's
She don't just talk it. She walks it.
I got over.
Oh,
the
I'd put
huddle.
this girl on the line any day.
Oh, I love it.
You know, the liberos always just have a little
They
bit
got
of
an edge to it.
yeah.
We
Probably
every-
necessary.
Now, granted, and it's our fault. We can't, duplicate ourselves. But what interviews we've had with volleyball, it's what Josh said. Every single team, every one of them has an edge to
Got an
them.
edge. And they have to, because they've got to be able to go from this corner to that corner to go save somebody's butt. And that's and so you got to have somebody that's willing to do that.
And they're wearing a different color shirt, right?
Yes.
So they automatically, they feel different.
They gotta show out.
All right. Let's move on to a little bit more serious. Coach, every team has its own identity. What is the identity of this particular team?
This group of girls are, from head to toe, without a doubt, quick. They're fast. And I've told them from the beginning, I got 6 hitters, and Mandy there's 6 foot tall. But Bree had 11 blocks against Hawks Bluff. What is she? 5'7", 5'8"? Tiny, really. We're small in size, but we're tenacious.
Yeah.
They are quick. They're all over the floor. They're hungry. They don't. When a ball falls, well, they don't look at me because they know that I should have been at that ball, and they're fussing at themselves. And when they look at me, I'm just going to tell them, hey, it's one more step, or it's this, or a skater jump. They love to hear that one, but it's just one more, and they're willing to give that one more, and that quickness comes into that.
What is your favorite, or I want each one to answer, what is your favorite play? Is it a kill, a block, a break set?
God.
I think we like blocks a lot.
Yeah.
We really get excited for blocks.
When if somebody gets a block and it is right down,
Hey, stuff block.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That is the
demoralizing,
greatest
correct, to the other team.
Yeah, it just
Or
kind
Fill
of
up
lifts
that
them.
open pass.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
Everybody has a little thing that they say when they come together, or if it's an ace. What do y'all say?
If somebody gets
Can
a
you do that
hit,
one more time?
if you get a hit, it's
And we
I love
say
that.
all ace, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ace, Yeah.
All right, I got it. This is a fun one. I've asked all the girls that we've interviewed. We'll start over here. What is the maddest you've ever made Coach Parker?
I don't know. I think it's when we let a thing drop and we're just like, oh, what do? We just don't look at it. We're just like, keep going. Just ignore
Well,
it.
I'm talking about like personally. What's the maddest you've ever made her?
Have I?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I just
Maybe.
kinda, if I mess up, I make a joke about it. So it's just like, oh, laugh it off and move on.
I got you.
Mandy came to us last year from Georgia, moved in, and she is the happiest person I've ever met in my entire life. I've never seen her unhappy.
Really?
Yeah, and she works hard, unless the other Coach Barkley's making her jump boxes. That makes her unhappy. But she's a happy girl, and so even if she messes up, like she said, she's got the most beautiful smile on her face when it happens. That it's okay, Mandy. You just go get it over. You're fine, Mandy.
Or she'll hit it out and she'll go, okay.
That was pretty good.
Scream across the whole court. Okay.
But she's gonna dive on the floor for a ball. She's 6 foot tall. She's gonna dive. She's
Still
gonna
get
go.
on the floor. Love
So
it.
I don't know that Mandy's been with me 2 years and has ever made me mad.
Somebody over here's got to have made you mad. Have you made her mad? Oh, I already know this is coming. You've never?
I know I have. I just can't remember.
Well, I don't.
Let's go ahead and hear it.
Well, I mean, there's numerous of times I've had to be yanked off the court and sat down for a couple
Is this
minutes.
true?
Because you were mad.
I would say
her mad?
She'll tell me what I do wrong, and I'll look at her and I'll be like, "That wasn't mine," and she'll be like,
Man.
I'll say they're
Morgan,
all.
go
What is
in.
it? What has I said to you over at Champion?
They're all
They're
yours.
all yours until I tell you different. Come sit down.
Hokes Bluff last year got yanked. Sardis this year. Was it Sardis?
No, that was at Champions. I'm telling you, the maddest I've ever been at you in my
It was
life.
at Champions.
Was at Champions.
Please
Got
explain.
yanked.
What was that one about?
I put her on left back because this one here and Kinsley, one of the sophomores, they're gonna run somebody down to go get a ball. They run over you. Hands first, that ball's going in your eyes, and that's what I need from you as a defensive specialist. That is the way I need you to play.
Yeah.
Well, she just looked at one that was right on the line. She just watched it fall, and I said, "Hey, I need you to go get that ball." She said, "That wasn't mine," and I went, "Yes, it is. Get your tail over here. Sub for her." And it's not, so I wasn't mad that she let it fall. What made me mad was that she sassed back at
Oh
me.
no! And then after she says, "Are you ready to go back in?" I looked at her and I said, "Yeah."
This one, D-Bark, my husband helps me coach, and D-Bark will give them my middle name when they do something that is so mean. He will call them their first name and my middle name 9 times out of 10. So Nani Marie here and Kinsley Marie, the two that pretty much play those two positions, they get called me all the time, and they're probably more like me than anybody on the
Kind of
court.
like having the Incredible Hulk, you know, because
Yeah.
if they're on your side,
It's all good.
Oh man. All right. No, nothing.
Never.
Nothing.
I think it's just naughty.
It's me, Nani, and Kinsley, and
Oh, yeah.
Kayla.
I take
But we're
full blame.
the problem is we're too much alike. The reason that I might get unhappy with that one or Kayla or Kinsley is they give me the attitude I give.
I have zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance. I kind of tell that.
As do I.
She might be a tweeter on Varsity Blues, like a female version. I don't know. Y'all don't need to watch that. Yeah, they probably all sing it anyways. All right. It's hard to move on after that
we're
one.
gonna have to come up with some more pop culture, some more recent pop culture.
Yeah, we're old, dude. We're over here. Hey, y'all still listen to Bon Jovi?
Yeah.
Let's see here. All right, Coach. No, let's go to the players here. In all the girls, we always ask, there's something about Oaks Bluff, Southside, and Glencoe girls. All their programs are good, usually in all the sports, and they semi-hate each other, but they respect each other. Can you girls talk about what it means to play at Glencoe specifically? What does it mean to play in front of your fans? And most of you girls all grew up there. You're from Georgia, correct?
Yes.
The rest of you girls grew up. grow up in Glencoe?
I moved to Glencoe from Hope's Bluff in 7th grade.
You're probably, they call her Benedict Arnold. I like it.
We didn't have social media when we were playing high school sports. Are y'all friends with Hope's Bluff and Southside on social media?
Until it's game time.
So y'all know each other better than we do.
Oh, yeah. We just hated it. But Glencoe specifically, playing there, growing up there, what does it mean to you?
I mean, I've been here my whole entire life, kindergarten, so it's definitely like a great environment to be in. Love being in Glencoe all the time, so
Love it.
yeah, love it.
Since I moved here in 7th grade, I've said from the beginning, I've always said it, being at Glencoe is like being with a family to me. Like, I loved Hope's Bluff, don't get me wrong, but at Glencoe, it's like, you know everybody loves everybody, and you're all just one big family. I think that's a big part of a community. Is if you can love everybody, you can always work together and push yourself to where you know where you can be and where others know you can be.
100%.
So.
Makes sense.
Like, I've been here since kindergarten, and what Nani said, everyone is just together. You can go, like, before Mr. G's closed down, you can just go there and see everybody.
I love that place.
You go anywhere and you see someone. Like,
Big Chief.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Another great place.
And I just moved here a couple years ago, but ever since I came here, it's a family. And you
I
don't
would say
wanna-
you seem like you're part of the family already.
Oh yeah, like you don't. You kind of just accepted into the family no matter where you're from, and you don't want to disappoint your family, so you really want to show out when it comes to them.
When it comes to college football,
I don't know. We're gonna stay out of that. We're gonna stay out of that.
Yeah. We don't want to get into that. All right, Coach, we're going to close with this one. Expectation-wise, it's through the roof with you guys, but what's it going to take besides staying away from COVID for you guys to get on a roll and make a deep run at this thing right here? Because we're coming down the stretch run. Believe it or not, we're in a stretch run now.
We're monthly. I mean, you got
Yeah.
season ends.
It's time.
It's regionals.
You
There's a
want
month from Thursday is regional
You're
play.
wanting to peak at the right time. What's it going to take for this group of girls to?
We've got to play every game like we're playing against Hope's Bluff. We've got to come in with that mindset of we're going to control our side of the ball. We're going to do what we can on our side to do those little things right that we have worked on, and we have, I don't want to use the word perfected, but that we have honed our skill enough that we are ready to pass, set, hit, control, be in system. I watch us. We'll scramble with the best of them. Nani will go save something, and we'll back her up, and we'll go play out of system. But boy, if we could play 50% of our balls in system and get that pass and get that set and get that hit that we're looking for, and then go block it in somebody's eye and go to town. That's what those little things. You get those little things down, and that excitement building. Chris Russell loves it when we celebrate, and if you don't celebrate just right, Chris Russell's in your eye. But he's right. That excitement is what we need in order to keep us from putting our head down and beat, because we are pretty young in some spots. I got a lot of sophomores on the floor. Many times in the game, there's a sophomore that's in a pivotal role. I run a two-setter system, so my other setter's a sophomore. And so we got to keep her from putting her head down when she makes a sophomore mistake, because they're going to. And the big sisters here have got their back, and that communication of controlling those things is definitely what it takes for us to go on. We beat Fife the other day. We're going to get Geraldine. We're going to get Geraldine on a roll and find them on the wrong side of the ball on the 13th of October, and ready to go.
All right, and I'm going to quote you girls. When you leave Glencoe, what do you want to most be remembered by? Like when you leave the team, in other words, the girls that's played under you, what do you want them to say? Hey, I remember she did this.
I kind of want to be remembered just for lifting everyone up. I really want that to stay a part of the team, even when we're all gone, because we have some big communicators in this group, and when we're gone, I really want the juniors and the sophomores to be like, hey, we got to fill their shoes in that aspect. We got to be talkative. We got to uplift each other and just bring that family just a little bit tighter.
That's awesome.
I want to be remembered for screaming as loud as I can no matter what, and my voice cracking halfway because I can't finish. I just want someone to be able to think of me and just remember the screeching coming from the side.
For her to be such a loud voice, she's a quiet tone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be interesting.
For me, I would probably say I want to be remembered for how hard I actually like push to make sure that no matter what happens, that the ball is still put into play. Because there's probably not one game that I don't go home with a new mark on my body. I have scars on my legs from court burn, busted elbows, busted knees, and I would love to be remembered for how hard I worked to get to where I am with my athleticism.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really want to be remembered, like, since I've only been setting for like 2 years, working really, really, really hard to get where I am, because setting looks easy, but it's not as easy as it looks, so.
Yeah, I think with you sacrificing, and taking that role, that's people just want to remember that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate you guys coming on with us. When we get freed up for a second, we're definitely going to check you out. You guys seem like y'all are hungry. I ain't gonna lie to you, my ears perked up when I heard you guys beat Hopes Bluff the other day. I was like, man, they're gonna be pretty good. They beat them, and the way you guys beat them, I was like, man, we need to check them out. All right, guys, we're gonna shut this one down. Thank you so much.